Hello, I'm Jill Tiny and I'm joined today on the Journey of Possibility with Erkan Ali and our guest, Claudia Agha. And it's wonderful to have her talking about her I Am Powerful program. See you soon. Hi there, back again. So I'm so excited to have you here with us today, Claudia.
Thank
you.
you.
It's been a long time coming. How long have you been a member of BeCollaboration?
Do you know what I think about? Two and a half years, just over 2.5 years.
Okay.
So February this year would have been 2 years, so nearly 3 years.
Wow. So
yeah.
You've seen some changes
Yes.
along the way.
And some new people.
And lots of new people, definitely. Tell us your journey into BeCollaboration. How did you get involved first of all?
Well, first of all, I was introduced by Erkan because Erkan was doing some business coaching with me, and we met up in that hotel. Do you remember?
Yeah,
I'll never forget that actually, the Runnymede Hotel in Egham, and we were sitting there and we just had our business coaching session, and a couple of people, because we were on a big table just to ourselves, and a couple of people came and sat by us. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
And just started talking to us, and you started talking about BeCollaboration. At that point, I wasn't aware of it. So then you brought me into the conversation, and it so happened that on my very first meeting, I actually took the lady who was sitting next to Erkan, and who came from, I don't know, Surrey or something, and she came and I drove us to here.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was my very first meeting.
So what was your impression when you got to the meeting?
A really positive one. You know, there was a great feeling in the room, lots of different types of people. And what I loved so much was the fact it wasn't like, hey, I'm a CEO of, this business. Here's my business card. Give me a call. We could do good business.
I thought that was how we met.
It wasn't a feeling of that. It was a feeling of friendship.
Yeah.
In the room. It wasn't ego to me. So I felt very comfortable. I felt very relaxed. It wasn't a place where you have to really prove yourself, or that sort of, like that ego feeling. And Hack was doing a presentation on the latest technology.
Wow.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it was mind-blowing. I was like, that drones?
Yeah.
Drones are coming? Amazon's going to use drones to drop off your books and everything else. And I just, I thought he was very professional. I remember meeting Beiju the first day, and, he was really friendly and trying to give me more information about BeCollaboration. And, it was just a really nice feeling. You were at the front of the room and talking. And it's really interesting because the person who came with me, I can't remember her name now, I think. Anyway, she was handing out her business card all over the place and at the back of the room having chats. Do you remember?
Yes,
and I was present in the room, just taking it all in.
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in this is me, this is what I do.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? No.
Is it any wonder then that you're still here and we can't even remember her name?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
interesting, isn't
Yeah, totally.
One of my enduring memories of you was in the very first 2 or 3 meetings that you came. After one meeting, you kind of sidled up to me and you went, Jill, I was like, yeah, where are all the women?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I really remember that.
And at that point, I hadn't cottoned on, and I'm like, flip, you're right.
Yeah.
It was just, I distinctly remember looking around going, oh my goodness, it hadn't occurred to me. And then since then, probably as a catalyst for you, we were attracting a lot of women now coming. And what would you say? Is it a 60-40 split?
It's still a bit male. I mean, I think not long ago we had an all-male meeting in
that
London.
was wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah. But we've always wanted a really, a good balance. It's not like it wants to be more men or more women, but it's hard to get 50-50. But it's kind of a good mix of everybody.
If you go to Essex, it's majority women.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that, I was going to say, do you know what I was going to say? Do you think that's Scott's energy? He loves female, he loves female energy.
I'd rather be around women all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I love
well, I don't know. You do all the rally. I think you're balanced. You do like all the. Yeah, exactly.
But I want to go back because your BeCollaboration journey started when that day for you, but our journey started earlier, didn't it?
Yes.
So I was referred to you by Naresh.
Yes.
Because
he's my accountant.
How did you find him as an accountant then? I thought, so you must have found him.
He came as just like a no. He came first, and then he said, "Oh, you know, our firm is using this great guy. He's a brilliant. Look, Claudia, honestly, you really must give him a call." And that's how it came.
It was really funny though, because I remember we turned up. It wasn't at the running meet when we first met, was it? It was
the first.
And you're right.
It was more like an interview.
It was an interview.
Oh no!
Her dad
You were interviewing him.
Yeah.
It was the first time someone's come with their dad, so I'm like, okay. And I don't know, was it during the meeting or after or before? I can't remember. I was asked for my CV.
He's never ever forgotten that.
And I just laughed at first.
He was like, I haven't got a CV.
I've never given my CV. I've never been asked for a CV. And you said it, and I just started. I sobered up a bit, and I went, if you want one, I'll get you a CV.
Yeah.
I'll get you a CV. And then because your dad was pointing out we are interviewing other coaches and and I was like, okay, fine. And I said, you should meet the other coaches. And I said, you should meet the other coaches, and you either love me or you go, no, definitely stay away.
And we did. We met other coaches, and they were typical suited and booted corporate guys. Hey, listen, nothing wrong with them, but it just didn't feel right for me, it was, there wasn't that energy.
No. And I think we've always had that dynamic, it was like there was that connection.
Well,
when we were off.
do you remember? So I was trying to explain a bit about my business and everything else, and I just felt really comfortable to say to you, I think I even touched your hand your arm like this, and I think I said, Erkan, I'm here to help people. And you looked at me right in the eyes and you said, I get that. And I was like that. And I was like that. Yeah, and I was like that. He does get that.
Yeah.
And that honestly made the difference because, even if you think, over 3.5, 4 years maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But during that time, Claudia Agha was hidden.
Yeah.
So for me to be in that position to say, I'm here to help people, someone I haven't really met. And as a business coach.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he wants to know about my bottom line numbers and how well the company's doing. Not like I'm helping people. Like that film.
So,
was it the Sixth?
I see dead people. So I do a lot of going to hotels and meeting ladies and they say, but the thing was, I remember there came a point in I just want to stick to the coaching bit of the relationship first. Sure. There was this thing about when my coaching was you can't hide anymore.
Yeah.
Because even that is quite telling. I just want to help people. It's almost like don't let anybody hear. And I think
I'm not mad.
No. I just want to. I want to make a difference, and that really is our modus operandi. That is. I don't think I would put it as we want to help. We want to empower. We want to shock, inspire. But the idea is we leave a positive impact on humanity, right?
Yeah.
And that sounds very grand. At that time, to come out and actually own up to that's what I'm really interested in. And I think the key for me in my experience of you at the time was all you had to do is come out from behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it will work out. And that was I thought that was the biggest shift for you. And I think, and the reason I invited you to BeCollaboration, and back then, Jill and I we're not out there marketing for members. We're not out there inviting everyone to come along. Where I feel this is something that would be appreciated, it's right for someone, I'll invite them to it. So it's not like, hey, let's invite 100 people, and if we get 3 people, that's great, or 10 or 20. It was never a numbers game, it was always like that. And I thought, you know what, I can see Claudia just fitting right in and getting it, and also not just getting it, but actually helping it move forward. So I think that's where I was when in that coaching process. And I think also you're very, we'll talk more about what you're like now, but back then I kind of got that how things felt for you was really important. If something felt right and it made you feel good and it felt flow. I don't know if I'd have used that terminology at the time, but that's how I kind of got you. It's very intuitive, instinctive.
Yeah, definitely. Because for me, when I was looking for the business coach element, it wasn't someone who's going to sit in front of me and give me all the ideas under the sun of how to market or the sales strategy or the counts or whatever. It was actually more about taking out my genius, right? Yeah. So you saw me beyond the spreadsheet and off the back of the business coaching, I rebranded my business completely. I changed my business name, I changed the logo, like the strapline, new website, the whole feel of the business changed because, like you say, it has to stay in line with your purpose, you know, what you believe, your vision and mission. And so that really, sorry, I was just going to say, so what helped that is peel back the onion layers. You know, it was suddenly a case of like, oh yeah, you know, there's business and then what I really stand for, like really stand for within, and matching that and aligning that with my business. And that's what you really helped me to do, because for me it was just about, right, we have to make sales, we have to get the product, we have to do this, we have to like scale up the business, you know. And it was almost like it felt like a machine rather than my heart.
And this is something we've been talking about very recently with you as well, like the language we're using, how we're using language. If you look at a lot of business books, a lot of marketing books, it's a lot of military male language.
Yeah,
a lot of left
that's
brain
true.
language.
Yeah,
it's like target market.
That's true. Exactly.
Deep, you know, demo. Who's having this whole demography? All these things are actually not very good. They don't inspire me, and I think that's not what I do when I'm working with people. But I think for me, what happened was you stepped. You know, you came out from behind the curtain, so to speak. You and then your true essence was connected to who you wanted to be and what you were about, and then that would drive that into the business, and then all manner of miracles start to happen. And going back to what you said before when we was getting ready for this podcast, you were saying it's just amazing, things are just magically happening, and I would assert it's got nothing to do with magic. I don't know if you even said that, so I apologise if you didn't, but it's like that level of attraction, that level of being is what creates the opportunities, and it goes beyond a marketing campaign, it goes beyond, you know, spreadsheets, it's the essence of who you are, and the person you met today and the way you described them, there's just, who else could you have been coached by? There's like a destinal...
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, everything happens for a reason, right? So there's no accident when you meet people.
Yeah.
But do you remember the nickname you gave me?
Yes.
One Nut.
One Nut.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, I'm half there now. I've got one nut on the
true. So-
table.
No, you started it because you said... sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
You started because you called me both nuts. You said...
You've got both your nuts on the table.
Yeah. And I called you One Nut.
Yeah.
Getting there. But that was one business, and now you have another business, don't you?
Yeah.
So can you see, going back to the very beginning, the journey that you've been on, that you were, that meeting with Erkan and that sort of touching the, lighting the touch paper and getting it going was the beginning. You knew what your purpose was.
Yeah, so the interesting thing was I already knew my purpose from, like, I think over 3 years ago. But it was almost like, okay, you know it, i.e. there's something there you need to do, but no one's actually said to you, right, so you're going to do this, you're going to be up there, this is what you have to do. It wasn't a case of that. It was like, you understand your purpose, but now what?
Yeah.
So how are you going to make that happen? You know, what tools are you going to use? How are you going to communicate that message? So for me, definitely, you know, seeing you be inspired, standing there, you know, talking to everybody, really getting everybody to like open themselves up, understand their genius. You know, I thought it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And, you know, and that's where I thought, do you know,
I want some of that.
I want to do something like this.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of thought like, actually it's a really good way of helping people to come out of themselves, because I was a pranic healer. And so I was doing a lot of one-to-one healing, but the healing is energy work, okay, but very much on a one-to-one basis.
So when did the Pranic Healing start? Was that before we met? You was already on that? Or was that after?
No, I think
So
it was just slightly after I met you.
Okay.
Pranic Healing happened. I can't remember. I've been like a pranic healer for like 2.5 years now.
So that's definitely after we met.
Yeah.
And for those watching, how would you describe Pranic Healing?
So Pranic Healing is a non-touch energy healing system that can work. It works on the chakras, but it's dealing very much with psychotherapy. It's dealing, which is the emotional side of things. It's dealing very much on the physical aspect of the body. So it can help on so many different levels. And I really saw the transformation that was taking place with this, you know, pranic healing, this energy healing. And so I just felt that I wanted to do something more en masse, but not necessarily just one-on-one actual energy healing, but using it in a different way. And that's when, you know, I designed I Am Powerful.
But I know you jumped ahead a bit.
Right.
Can I?
Scroll back.
Sorry,
Yeah, I was going to scroll back as
did you
well.
want to scroll
Yes,
back?
please. I was just going to say, because one of the
hold
first
on.
times, make a note, one of the first times we saw you in the front of the room was in a Genius slot, where a lot of people come to BeCollaboration and they do a know and be known. And we asked you to do a Genius slot, and you said, "Oh, I'll do it on business karma."
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people was like, interesting, what's all that about?
Was that
kind
the
of thing.
first one? That was the one where? That was...
No, I don't even know. If
It
you
was
did
in
it.
the...
No, I missed it.
No, it was my first one.
It was
And
in the White
you
Horse,
weren't
wasn't it?
there, you watched it on the video, but it was in the White Horse, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and
I took your Genius slot.
that's right. Yeah, we sacked you for the day, and we took Claudia
I'm really
instead.
pleased.
But I do remember that's when we kind of became more aware of Claudia, because this person stood at the front of the room, and you're like, well, this is, hang on, this makes interesting. And it all kind of, you could see people's faces. One of the things I love doing at any meeting, I'm kind of sitting to one side, and I like to see if it's the nodding heads, you know, if people go, oh, that's interesting, and making notes, or whether they're like,
Or the empty seats.
yeah, like that, or tumbleweed moment.
Oh yeah, I really remember the day really clearly.
But I do remember how engaged people were with what you were saying, and the questions that came through as well. And to my mind, that kind of set you on that path. You were no longer the spa lady that had lovely products. You were the person that talked about pranic healing and business karma. So then it kind of spread around to the other groups.
Yeah.
So what do you remember? Why did you choose business karma for that?
Well, karma is a really interesting subject. So, you know, I mention karma a lot because people use it in a negative connotation, but actually karma is a tool to help us improve our future because it's futuristic, it's not fatalistic. So that's the thing about karma, because people always say, when you do something bad, or you'll get your karma, you know, what goes around comes around, but it's actually something of a good thing as well. So the whole point was when I wanted to do something based, I guess, more on a business understanding, but how to bring a woo-woo conversation in something that people understand as in business, you know? So when I use the karma side, honestly, like Naresh, for example, spoke to me about it. He goes, I asked my kids to watch it, you know, to have a kind of understand, because people think that business sometimes is really cutthroat, right? Or
It's not
people
personal,
think like
it's just
that.
business.
Yeah, exactly.
Where does that expression even come from?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not going to name the business, the company right now, but I put something recently up on Facebook, and one company who I thought has been greedy forever and ever and ever, and if you like, they're starting to get whooped, right? So there's chinks in the armour.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is with karma is to generate a goodwill factor for the whole of your community, for the whole of humanity, you know, for all your staff, everything. You know, it's not just about making money. And, you know, the good aspect, one good aspect of karma is give 10% away of your company profits to your chosen charity. What you do for others is done to yourself, you know? So this is what I'm talking about there. It's a tool to generate a better future for yourself or your business.
Christianity does that as well. That's what the recommended tithing is.
Tithing, yeah, exactly. You know, it's not just about money, it's to be a service as well for people.
Definitely. And the thing is, when you see an organisation, if you work as a business coach, you work in lots of different companies, and if you see them and they're predicated on the bottom line, where's my profit, where's my money coming from, who's doing the sales this month, what's the targets, and it's all in that, you can see the people that are working in that environment, even if it's just an admin assistant, you can see they're under this kind of cloud of pressure the whole time. I'm like, how can you go in on a Monday morning and go, hi? You know, there isn't any joy.
No.
There's no joy in that space whatsoever.
And the passion dies with that as well.
Yeah, and people feel trapped because they're trapped because there's a salary there, and it might be a good salary that's keeping them there.
Yeah.
But they're not actually having any fun. And it's. I look back at when I used to work for local government. The salary wasn't great, but it's the same sort of thing. It was like cutting budgets and looking at the finance and how much is being spent on this and how much is being spent, and you feel like you're being choked all the time. And there's never anyone that you can please. You're never going to please all the people. You can't please that one because he's going to get something, and you can't please that one because he's going to get something. And as time goes on, you just feel that everyone is miserable. And yet, when someone starts giving, bit by bit, you can see it kind of, it's open.
Yeah.
It's what you were saying earlier, being authentic. It's
Yeah.
genuine. It's a space where people can relax and actually not be fearful. And the whole concept, if you just take money out of it, then the money starts flowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just so lovely to see. From that, you obviously went on to do your Know and Be Known.
Which was about pranic healing then.
Yes.
And do you remember I brought Sasha to the front of the room and did some healing on him?
Salt water as well, if I remember right.
No, there was a bowl with salt water and then there was the alcohol spray as you do the healing. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. And Sarah came to me at the end of that. And one thing that she said to me, which at the time, you know, I suppose, I don't know, like a little bit confused in a sense. She goes, "You're so brave." And I said, "Am I?" She said, "Yeah, you're so brave because you stood there and spoke about something that people don't understand, and you didn't bat an eyelid, i.e. you didn't show any fear about that."
Yeah.
You know, and I don't, because there I'm imparting knowledge. What you take from it's your karma. And I was going to say karma, but it's your business, you know, that's up to you, it's your choice. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm just doing what I'm meant to do. And the main thing that you can do in life is just concentrate on what you've got to concentrate. Don't worry about the external noise.
Because you've got no doubt that what you're doing is the right thing.
Yeah.
So if you weren't doing it, it's almost like you're not fulfilling what you're here for. So how dare you not do it?
Absolutely.
So you don't have a choice yourself. You have now you know that's what your purpose is, to stand at the front of the room, even if you're ridiculed. Well, that's their problem, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
You know, the interesting thing I've just got to say, right, if you want to have a bit of a deep conversation on something, as a soul, before you come here, you choose your family and who you're born into. And there's reasons why you have a certain mother and a certain father, and if you have siblings and what they're like. Now, the interesting thing is, I've been trained very well to get to this point because my family, they didn't ridicule me, but they never truly, at the early stages, got it, you know, and they would kind of be like, "Who is this person you keep talking to? Why are you doing that? Why?" Because they didn't understand, right? And so it was never really a control thing, but I always felt I had to defend myself and my belief, right? So straight away, I'm flexing my muscles because I never felt like I was doing something wrong. I never felt, you know, that they're right, you know. So I was taught very early on to feel comfortable in my own skin and what I'm doing.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a gift a lot of people don't ever have, do they?
No, because quite interestingly, a lot of people who I know as pranic healers were born into a family who already had a spiritual belief and understanding. So they were kind of always had a mother that was a spiritual healer, or they had a father that did. I didn't, you know, and I had a very strong brother, a real alpha male brother, you know, and some of the things that he used to say to me about my healing and my understanding was classic, you know.
And yeah, he's turned around now as well, hasn't
Well,
he?
he's definitely getting there, let's put it that way. He's opening his mind a bit more to other opportunities, but, you know, it's,
He's got more of an open mind than he had before. But I mean, but then if you're in that family and you've got that resistance, look at the people that have been put in your path. They've been incredible, haven't they?
Oh yes,
To
you know the
support you
people
and
I've
help you.
absolutely.
That stories. I mean, you've got a book in you. Fascinating.
Can I just rewind a bit back, because one of the things that I put here earlier on, Know and Be Known Genius Masterclass, the format of the membership meetings is also pulling people into getting in front of the room, sharing their good stuff from their profession, maybe in the Know and Be Known more, but also within the Genius, share the stuff that like pranic healing. I don't recall ever hearing about pranic healing prior to meeting you. Right?
No, I think
I'm pretty sure I don't.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're
We've
right.
all heard of Reiki and things like
Yeah,
that.
so
but
pranic
okay,
healing's
but kind of pranic healing was around about like that.
The thing that I really love about the community and the meeting, and what came out of the interviews we did at London, is this is a safe place. It's a safe space. You didn't have to go in there and defend anything. The space, I think, also creates the opportunity for people to just get on and express their unique insight or their unique perspective or what they're exploring. Because especially in Genius, we're not asking for a polished act. We're asking for your latest latest thing. You know, something that you know, it could be you're still very early on in your pranic healing. We're not looking for masterfulness. We're looking for first steps into something, and it can be masterful. Don't get me wrong. So for me, that the community's, I think the community's giving the gift of and pulling for you to be, not just you, but any of us at the front of the room. There's a generosity in the way the community is evolving, is that they want to extract the value, even if it's like bloody old Reiki or bloody old blah blah blah. Or whatever. Because the thing is, in the vision and mission, it says we're not out to prove a model. We're not endorsing Reiki, Pranic Healing. We're not endorsing, you know, what the person at the front is saying. To the extent we're putting them there, of course, there's a certain level of endorsement, but we're not saying you have to agree, or you have to believe, or you have to, or even argue with it. You know, just take on, just be in that space. Allow yourself to, you know, like we had was it TFT or tapping?
Yes.
Someone did that.
Field therapy.
You know, these are the things I'm saying to people, you know, at the front of the room. Go, say, anyone else heard of that before? And they go, no. There you go.
I know. I've gained so much wisdom from people standing in the front of the room, and even what I love is people sharing their story.
Yeah.
You know, I just packed my rucksack and off I went, and I learned through that and did it, and I'm like that. Wow, that's super cool, because everybody's got their own journey in life. Everybody's got their own path. There's no right, there's no wrong. Some people become mums and have children and fathers, and some people don't. Yeah. We all learn in different ways, you know.
And the thing is, whilst Sarah saw you as being brave for what you were sharing, and you're like, well, I have to share it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. There are other people that do know and be known, and they are being brave because they are absolutely petrified.
Yeah,
but they still do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of those people that kind of go, this is what I believe in. Is it okay? And they kind of want confirmation, or they want some.
It's not even the believing. I don't think it's even the belief. It's not even what they're sharing. It's them.
Yes.
Can you just accept me? Don't worry about what I'm talking about. Just be like cringing in front of the room. But I want to acknowledge you, right? I want to acknowledge you because I think, listen, this is my view, right?
Okay.
So
go for it. I listen.
I don't want to be offensive in any way, but I want to say what I know.
He sets it up in such a way, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's not my intention, right? So when I met you, I thought you were lovely, and I thought,
what's not to love?
No, seriously, I was really, because I have to like my clients, otherwise I get that. We wouldn't be here today. And vice versa, I suppose. But that's what I'm saying. Is I've really seen you grow.
Yeah.
Right, and I want to say is that I don't want you to be offended. It's not like I don't want to sound patronising. Right, I want to say I've really seen, you know, that from that. I want to help people. See dead people. You know, I
don't see dead people, by the way.
Not yet.
but from that initial, in my experience, I'm sure that didn't start there. It's probably, you know, it's been part of your life for a long time. But the way you've evolved through, and every time and I think the video footage is really great. The documentation of it, because your last talk, and I know you've done what, 3 now?
4. Well, if you take. I Am Powerful. I've done 4,
Yeah. So the person I saw at the front of the room last week, do you imagine? I kind of cut in, cut out, you know, because you don't get in front of the room every meeting, do you? And you kind of come, I don't know, 3 monthly, 4 monthly phase. The person that was in front of the room for me last week, I just sat there and I was like, I felt so proud of who you've become. Like, who you've become is who you are. But you had to get whatever you had to get out of the way, self-doubt, other people's opinions. Plus, you've got to get to know your subject, don't you? You've got to, like you said, you know, I'm not married. I've spent the last how many years reading, learning, going to courses. You've worked. I mean, we're adding a final part to the book Jill's writing about really what it takes. And I said, look, I just want to leave people with, if you've got a dream, it's going to take everything. Because you've got to keep going till you achieve that. You know, I mean, I know you know what I mean, right? And those hours of study, those hours of self-doubt, those hours of testing yourself, those hours of being ridiculed, those, you know, all that all of that, to the person that's in front of the room now, if you're thinking, we're going to get onto I Am Powerful in a minute, but if you're thinking of doing a program with Claudia, I'll tell you what, you will love it, you'll get huge value, and the value will impact into the future. That's what I get about your work. And
Thank you.
And the thing I'm acknowledging is the amount of all the work that nobody else sees is because I know what it takes us, and to birth a program, and then deliver it, and then people. I've seen the testimonials of what people are saying. To me, it's a complete acknowledgement of how far you've come. Not to, that's what I mean. I'm acknowledging the distance you've come, and yet I get this is just the start
the beginning
of
something
the
massive.
journey for you. And I think just even if we played a little part in that as a community and as individuals maybe, but I think that for me is the beauty of BeColl is the encouragement of others' greatness. Like the support of it, the want to see it evolve and come out and manifest there's a logo. There's a it's in reality. It's not a dream. It's not in a drawer. It's not in a bottle somewhere because you've been drinking your life away. So whatever people are dealing with, it is possible to achieve your life's vision. And I think that people keep saying, "Oh, I can't tell people what because it's actually not that complicated. Whatever you want out of life in this format, you can achieve it."
Yeah, definitely. I remember you saying to me, "Have you ever designed a program for us like that?" No. And you looked at me as if to say, "Good luck with that one then." I was like that. And you know what the funniest thing is? Like, people would come to my house, say I wasn't expecting someone, they'd come over and there'd be big pieces of paper on my living room floor covering everywhere. And they'd come in like friends, "Gosh, what's all this?" And sitting there reading it and like, "Oh, forgiveness." And like, "Really?" And I'd be, "Yeah, I'm putting something together, just working." And I literally did it, because obviously I'm running a business. So I just did it in my spare time. And, you have a bit of writer's block, "Oh, what am I going to..." And then suddenly, boof, bang, all on paper, done. Done. And then I just gave myself set targets to get certain sections thingied.
And what did you find the hardest part of the process for you?
The content, obviously, in the sense of I know what it is, what I'm trying to achieve, but what is the content, the true content that I could put there and make it into one day program? Because in actual fact, there's another whole section that I couldn't fit in.
I was just going to say, there's so much. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
So presumably you've got another one in you for the next time.
Yeah. Well, always have the joke because obviously I just did this. No one saw it. No one. I never showed someone. I thought, "No, what do you think of this?" Nothing.
You don't need to find
No, I just got on with it.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is that it's a full, 7-hour program. So I'd have to stand there in my living room. My sofa at home knows exactly how to begin it. And my cat's the most self-loving, self-accepting cat in the world. I tell you, honestly. Oh, it's hilarious.
Well, I run it by the kids before it goes out.
Oh, brilliant.
I remember when we did the first, it was a little while ago, we did the first, one of many introductions. And I was doing one where we put the scarcity.
Oh, yeah.
And I was doing the scarcity presentation, and they go, "Scarcity, Daddy, what does that mean? That's not a real word." I said, "Well, it means there isn't enough." And they went, "But there is enough." And I'm like, we go from that to living in fear of scarcity. So that was pretty much a Lone Ranger self-actualizing outcome, wasn't it? It was like you put yourself through.
But can I come back slightly before we say it was a Lone Ranger self-actualising thing, because the actual birth of it was as a result of Be Inspired, wasn't it? So you went to Be Inspired and went, you need to follow on from this, Erkan. There's something else that you can add on to the Be Inspired programme that I can help you with.
Yeah, because, depending on what people take from Be Inspired, but Be Inspired was kind of taking the cotton wool from people's eyes, the illusion, the rose-tinted glass. This is really what's happening out there, kind of thing. Okay, so the next stage, the way I looked at it, well, how are we going to really empower people? You know what's happening. How can we empower people to really connect to their inner power, right? So that's where I wanted to, take it, if you like, in terms of the knowledge, because you're very much, the way I see you and things like that, you're very much about letting people know. It's really important for you to understand and know what is taking place. And I think with me, I'm a healer. So my next stage was, okay, let's remove all the damage that this programming, old programming has done to you. Let's remove all that damage, and now let's just empower you to live a life of a higher vibration, you know? Because lots of people talk about love, you know, heart-centered consciousness, talking about love, where, you know, let's all live in a place of love. But it actually goes a lot deeper than that. For me, for my understanding, you know, it's all about, you know, if you like, connecting to where we started from, as such.
Yeah.
And when you get to that place, the only feeling that you can feel is love, joy, peace, and then the highest level obviously is enlightenment.
Yeah.
You know, we aim high for that one.
Absolutely. It takes a bit
And that's like Lord Buddha, Krishna, Jesus Christ, you know.
Yeah, some of them can nail it, and some of us aspire to get
Yeah.
there. What I was fascinated by, though, was in the beginning that you guys were working together to create the program from the view of, let's put it within the BeCollaboration family of programs potential. And it wasn't an easy collaboration initially, was it? There was only two of you, so technically, from our definition, it wasn't a collaboration.
Well, as far as I know, we never actually worked on the program together. It was Claudia was going to work on the follow-on.
That was the idea.
Yeah, and I didn't.
And you were support around it, so there was
yeah,
kind
it
of
was
a connection.
Well, I'll kind of wake them up. And then
I like that. I'll wake them up, bish bash ball.
Literally.
Yeah, and you know, I'm really reviewing all that because I think in my background, my training, and the work I've done is you need to get present to the impact of things. And I'll take the language away. But you know, getting present to the impact of something allows you the opportunity to transform it. I think going back to the you know, waking people up to what's going on, I still see that as a very critical part, because if you think about it, probably part of your journey was starting to understand the way the world was working, and you come to the point where, you know, there's enough of stuff we can all work on different parts of it. That's what I get, right? But the thing was, I think when we first started talking about, there's this desire to design the follow-on program to be inspired. Be Inspired, I think, is a fantastic format. I'll probably tweak it a bit now. I mean, it's been around a little while. But there was this thing for me, was really the Onward program was, for me, was resilient. About how do you then become resilient with the way the world is. Because my experience was, and you may have noticed, you know, you go do a program. You know, I've done some fantastic life-altering, transforming programs, and then you come out into this. And the way I'd explain that is, imagine you get a fish out of dirty, polluted water, you know, put it in the program for 3 days, you know, shake it about, wake it up, blow the air through it, some gills, you know, get it all covered. Wow, anything's possible. Man, the whole, you know, that's
a really good example.
I can take on the world.
And then shove it back.
And then throw it back in there, right?
That was actually really true.
No, but that was my experience. And then also there was this thing about what I call the micro, you know, the personal experience and your life and your relationship with your parents and your relationship with your brother and your sister and the things that didn't happen in your life and that personal transformation. So I was very grounded in that. And a key part of that was getting present to the impact of things that weren't working in your life. Because we're easy to brush things under the carpet and go, oh, I don't care if I'm not talking to my brother. And you kind of leave that hanging in the air. You know, I don't care if I'm not talking to my brother. So if you don't, or, you know, you hear people that haven't spoken to their parents for 5 years and, you know, people waking up in these programs and going, I haven't told my mum that I love her for 20 years. Like, well, better get a move on. Go now.
Yeah, times go on.
Yeah.
So a lot of my grounding was around that kind of personal transformation. When I came out of that environment, what I realised is actually who's talking about the macro? Because you come out as a clean fish, anything's possible. I speak for myself. I've reconciled racism. I've healed past relationships. I've told my mum I love her. I've forgiven my dad for the things he did or did. You know, and I'm there. I'm a master of transformation in the world of no transformation, right? And then what I noticed was actually something bigger. That's like that. Like for me, the way I describe it is like gravity. You know, it's there all the time. It's all pervasive. Is our schooling system, our money system, our media, the wars, all the macro. And for my, and I still feel this today, is majority of humanity has no idea. The ideal. You know, obviously, you can't know for sure until you sit and talk with people, because
Yeah.
they can reveal. Because I've met plumbers in the pub who start talking and they go, yeah, and you go, bloody hell, people do know about these things, right? But it wasn't about. It still isn't about educating people to what's going on for the sake of that. It was the same reason why you go and tell your mum you love her, because you get the impact of sitting back and the experience, or the impact that I notice it has on people. The macro is it leaves them cynical and resigned. Like,
It's depressing.
how am I going to do anything about it? You know what? I'm going to transform you go up to someone, we're going to transform the money, so they're looking like you're mad. How am I going to change education?
So that was why they were a perfect bed partners, weren't they? I am powerful. If you feel like you've not got that opportunity, or how can I make a change, and then to have a program where you're actually saying, you know, let's empower you to do absolutely anything. So I think as it started off, it was an interesting journey to see how it would work with the two of you, and then possibly put a team around it and create and everything. And the thing I wanted to illustrate is that not every collaboration is easy. Not every collaboration is the right way to go. And sometimes, what I'm really kind of proud about both of you is that you found it's still happening and there's another way. Just because the first way you started doing something didn't quite hang together for whatever reason, that's kind of irrelevant. It didn't, but it didn't stop it happening. You were so determined, and it's still part of the BeCollaboration. We're very happy to promote it. And obviously I've been fortunate, I will say fortunate enough to be on it, and it still exists, it's still out there, it's still now. It would have been so easy at a point when you two were going, oh, well, this doesn't fit, and this doesn't fit, and this, and I haven't got the time, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, to let normal life get in the way. And you could have thrown your toys out the pram, but well, I'm not doing it. But no, because you had that purpose that it had to happen. It was going to happen with him or without him, with anybody else or without, and you go, done it. It's there now, done it. And now I would like to see and find a way of supporting Claudia to put BeCollaboration people around it to make it grow. The same as we want to put a team around Be Inspired to make it grow. The same way we need to give you some space to make Resilient grow when that becomes a program. I mean, because all of these things together are the catalyst for what our collaborators need and people out there need, in order to find out that it's not depressing being on your own. And one of the most important things I Am Powerful taught me is about raising the consciousness of everyone in order to have a massive impact. And if we don't keep doing that on a regular basis, because what I think a lot of people did, especially when Be Inspired was 2 days, we freaked them out on day one and they were like, oh my God, and they went home and they didn't come back next day.
Two people.
But that's 2 people too many, that's the point. And this is what I'm saying, it is shocking, some of the stuff that they have to kind of take on board. Yeah. And it's like when I went to the Alternative View conference, 3 days of like, oh, wow, you know, and I needed to kind of go and kiss a baby and see happy things and have flowers. Because
you know you've been arrested for that before. And
it is so important to make sure
Jill,
that you've got.
I think you're spot on. It's not one or I don't think it's about one or the other, because you know, even on last week, you showed the video. You know, I think people are worried about wars, death, infinite consumption on a planet that can't carry it. You know, the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, and many things. Because the other thing is, we are exposed to so much information that only maybe 20 years ago, there's no way you would have been exposed to that much.
True. But, you know, the thing is for me is finding the solution, right? And the solution is simple, not easy. We had that debate, but it's simple. And the solution is us, ourselves. You know, you have to take responsibility for yourself. I can't force you to do anything. I can't force Erkan to do anything.
We have tried.
No, it definitely doesn't work.
If someone's trying to make you do things you don't want to do, don't let them do it.
But the point being, everything you need is within. And everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people look outside of themselves, right? And they listen to the noise of everything that's going on around them. And people have lost that inner connection. And it's about where your power is. Your power is within. I mean, it's like a deep conversation, because when I say it's within, I mean, obviously through the soul and the higher soul and the connection to the divine.
And that's all.
Which you're shown in I Am Powerful to have a better understanding of these things, okay? Because, you know, on I Am Powerful, you're guaranteed to have at least one aha moment, right? Because some people don't know this information. They don't understand the impact one has even on their thoughts that creates their emotions, or emotions that creates their thoughts. The impact, because we are all vibrational energy beings, right? We're a soul in a human body having a human experience. It's not easy, right?
Say that again.
But what's that?
We are a soul.
We're a soul in a human body having a human experience. So it's not easy, right? But the point being is that if we remember our true selves, our true connection, our source, then it fits more into place about how powerful we are. Because, you know, this is not about me trying to say they don't want us to be powerful, but it's really true that we have been suppressed for thousands of years. Remember the information I am powerful, about the hidden information from biblical times? And, you know, and the point is, maybe, just maybe, this is a point in humanity to really raise our consciousness, to raise our vibration, and understand the power each and every one of us has. Because if we're all in that point, what we can achieve is unbelievable. With education, with the pharmaceutical, with, you know, the
With all
banking
those,
system, because our knowledge is all-knowing. You know, we're not just left to read a book, like you say, read a book and understand how things work. What did you say about the corporate world? No, or business coaches, you said it was really left brain, something or other. It's not, you know, so what I'm trying to say is we have an all-knowing understanding, and then there's a level of discernment that comes from that. So this cotton wool lifts us even further from the eyes, because we no longer see an illusion that's taking place outside of ourselves, you know?
I mean, in the vision and mission, it says raising consciousness and raising the bar for what's possible for humanity itself. The other thing it says in there is solving the unsolvable. Now, my experience of most people is they're not connected to their genius. They're not, and we're using genius as one word. It could be their connection to source. It could be their flow. Their
Sure.
And my experience of meeting many business owners and working, and prior to that, working with individuals outright, is this sense of cynicism, resignation, that this is as good as not even that is this as good as it gets, but this is the way it is. You know, this is the way it is. I can't do much about it. And I think I'm still of the view that a certain amount of waking up is part of that journey, and I am of the view there's a huge amount of healing required. And I am of the view all of it. It's a bit like a 4-course meal. You take one bit out, and it's not the real, you know, the whole experience.
It's not complete.
Yeah, because, you know, it's not, you know, because I've been accused, you're fear mongering, or you're trying to. I'm not, and I don't want to be talking about these things necessarily. But hold on.
Yeah.
In the world of causality, you know, we look at it, my experience of most people are looking at the outcome of something and then battling with why is it the way it is. Like, we've got to fix this or we've got to fix that. And I'm going, forget that. You've got to look at, well, why do these things happen? Why? It's kind of having that human, independent, personal experience matched with the grander scale things. And I think I'm going to use my words, not carefully, but I just want to say what I really want to say, is I think a lot of the New Age movement, the New Age kind of, and I know that encompasses such a huge field. I don't think it's enough just to worry about yourself. Like, well, as long as I'm true to myself and I love people and I want to make a difference, it's almost like there's a naivety in that. I think.
Well, personally, for me, I think the love word is being used far too easily these days. I mean, do people really understand the essence of love? That unconditional love, that love is in absolutely everything around us. The book, the tablecloth, Jill, your lovely cardigan, you know. This is what I mean. I mean, like, do people really understand that true essence Where does
No,
love come from?
I don't think so.
Where
But I
does
think-
love come
but
from?
I think love has been, well, like a lot of very positive human expressions, has been hijacked. It's been bastardized. It's been, what's the other thing when you mix it with something else?
Diluted.
Yeah, not diluted, but like adulterated.
Oh, good word.
Yeah, like I think things. I think I started using the word genius. When I was using it, nobody was really using it. I'm not saying I'm the first person to use the word genius, but it wasn't a comfortable word.
It wasn't normal.
Because it's always like you got to take.
No, that's right. I
Yeah.
remember on the first BeColl meeting that I came to, and you were asking people, what does it, if I said, I'm a genius, what does that mean? It means you're really arrogant, you're full of yourself.
Interesting.
Do you remember? One guy
Yeah.
said that, and it was like, it's a big thing for you to say you're a genius. You're not Einstein.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
we've been bred not to.
That's right.
To look at our, like who are we not to shine, who are we not to make that difference. We've
Yeah.
all heard the poems, and the other thing about waking up. I mean, and this is not this. I want to put it in there. It's like, I look at the news, I look at films, I look at media, songs. I've spent a lot of time researching the pop media and film industry, entertainment industries, and I'll share one thing with you. About 5-6 years ago, I met one of my clients used the C word.
Oh dear, I
Right.
hate that word.
And it was this line from a popular program, and I think the program was In the Loop, and it was a political kind of sitcom kind of thing, and he used the C word in this statement about 15-20 times, right? And we was having this coaching call online, and he just blurted out this thing, and I thought, and I kind of, you kind of laugh, but you're kind of not laughing, but he did, and I thought, I'm going to go back and look at that quote, because he said he's got it up on his wall now, right? Seriously, right? So I went and found the quote, and I printed it out, because it's quite an interesting play on words as well, although there's C words in there, right? And I put it up on my wall. I don't know why, I just did. I'm not one for using that word very often, blah, blah, blah. I noticed just having that up was now giving, like, because it was there, I started to use that word in a way that I hadn't used it before. Now, if we take that...
What, in a negative way?
Yeah, in the sweary way.
Oh, right,
And also coming into my common...
Because it was always there and you could always...
Yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
imagine you hang around with a load of people that use the word, you're all using the word, so it becomes, it becomes normal. And I kind of, it really got me thinking about how much auto-suggestion, how much conditioning in the media and there is in our society, just through media. Imagine what people, the ordinary English person will think about Palestine and Arabs and Muslims right now. They don't know how much they've been manipulated to think those things. Now, I'm all up for healing and everything you're doing. I'm totally up, and I'm not, this isn't a and/or whatever. It's more of a continuing, ongoing process. But people, I remember when the first Iraq war happened, and my friend pulled out the paper and says, "But okay, look what he's doing to his people." Saddam. I said, "Man, they're only going there for the oil. There's no other reason they're going there. Everyone from the east knows that, because we're from. But people here will go. They're going there to save the democracy." That's what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know how you can deal with those things just with healing or just with what I'm talking about, or I'm not just one or the other. I'm not trying to polarize the conversation. But what I'm saying is, like, how do we deal with the? Actually, I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
How do you confront these things? Because there is a huge amount of manipulation through everything that's taught at school. I mean, like so much science. Media, news, films, stories, books, magazines, consume, shut the hell up, do as you're told. You've got this whole controlling mechanism that's teaching you're not amazing, you're not brilliant, you're lucky to get... Who's going to clean the streets anyway if everyone was amazing? That kind of thing. How are we going to keep the masses suppressed? And how do we heal our way through that as a species? And they're the things that I want to know. I want to know, how do we deal with the subjects head on? And I think there's a huge amount of healing, everything you're doing is needed.
So there was a time when I was putting lots of things on social media like Facebook all the time. What's going on in Palestine? It's the world's quiet, the world's keeping quiet, and these things are happening, and what's happening there. I mean, it went on and on and on. And do you know what was happening? it was making me ill. It was really draining me. And that is fabulous, isn't it? Where I'm trying to let people know the truth of what's really going on out there, for people to understand, listen everybody, don't you understand that the Palestinians are the most suppressed and oppressed race of people out on the planet? No one's saying anything, and no one kind of really listened to me, and I absorbed all that anger and resentment and frustration beyond belief. And then a moment happened to me. It was at a Pranic Healing event, actually. It was the Healers Wellbeing Day, and I asked a question about the war to my healing teacher, and he said, turn your TV off. I said, I don't watch the news. And he said, like, close the newspaper. I don't read the newspaper. You know, there's me like, you know. And he said, well, what do you do? I said, I'm on Facebook. And he goes, that's like the news, kind of like that. And 250 people in the room laughed, right? And it wasn't because I was humiliated, it was because I was hurt. I was like so frustrated. And even at that point with my healing teacher, he's like, you know, putting me into that zone. And I cried my eyes out. I mean, you know, not just a tear, it's like, you know, proper. And everything that was in me came out, let me tell you, right? That I had even one of the senior pranic healers saying, Claude, do you want some healing? Yes, please, to calm me down, you know. So anyway, so I had some healing where obviously they take psychotherapy, they take out all the negative emotion from me. And from that moment on, I let go. Right? Because what I'm putting up on Facebook was making me feel even more powerless, because nothing really was happening and it's not going to happen. So then I just thought, listen, I can't keep concentrating on the negative for me.
I don't
right?
think anybody should.
No.
By the way.
No. I'm just talking about how I feel. There's nothing to do with how you feel, right? But the point being is that at that moment, I had a self-realisation that really I can't control the wars. I can't control Donald Trump and whoever else you want to talk about. You know, I can't control them, but I can control myself. Right, so if I'm this powerful being, but all I'm emitting is anger and resentment, what the hell am I putting out to the world? As a vibration, as an energy, right? So in fact, they're clipping my wings. I'm clipping my wings. These, whoever you want to say they, are happy. Look, Claudia's angry.
I would agree.
Remember
with
the lower vibration?
Yeah.
Anger, fear, and guilt are like the real low ones, and shame. Shame's the bottom, right? So they're really low.
But I completely agree with that, because I don't feel that I feel that way about these things.
No,
but
sure.
We've had our, like you've been through your journey, you know, we've all got our version of it, like, you know, you said about AVA, you know, when you left you felt really kind of wow. But I think there's something about what you had to go through, that perpetration, that build up, allowed that release to then get you go, right, my mission is to heal.
Yeah.
That's where my expression is.
But I know, but I completely let go, right? So, you know, the thing is, if I ever post anything on Facebook, which is of a political negative agenda, it's really rare, you know, whereas I was doing it all the time. And so now I'm from a place of a higher vibration where it doesn't mean I don't have that compassion towards, you know, people in the world that are suffering, right? But there's a deeper understanding about that, but I'm not going to go on that level, because souls come here for a particular purpose, okay? And they took that agenda. But the thing is that I'm from a place where I want to raise people's consciousness, okay? If you raise people's consciousness and they are from a place of a higher vibration, then their discernment is that they know that what's put on the BBC News and they know what's read in the newspaper is complete bullshit and it's manipulation. It's almost like they want to put that fear, but it no longer has that effect on you because of the discernment. It's key, right? So the most important thing.
I agree, because once you see it for what it is, it's like going back. You know, using behind us. You know, there's a scene I use now from the Wizard of Oz. You know, when they finally get there and they think there's this big bad wizard and the little doggy Toto pulls the curtain back. There's just this old man trying. Don't mind about the man behind the curtain. It's like that. Once you've seen behind the curtain, it doesn't have that.
Yes, but you bring up the Wizard of Oz, right? It's the most powerful thing about that story, right? Because there's really deep hidden truths in Wizard of Oz that She went to look for a wizard to try and help her to get back home. But as Glinda said to her, you've always had the power, my dear. You've just had to discover it for yourself.
Exactly.
And the same for all of us. Yeah. Like, have you seen what's on the back of my hoodie? Can you read it out, Jill?
One has only to discover that which one already knows.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
Right? We're all
completely
from,
with you.
but okay, listen, the thing is, we're all from the same place.
Yeah.
We all leave to go to the same place. Your journey to get here was exactly the same as my journey, you know, in other words.
M25.
Yeah.
No,
but what I'm trying to say is that you know the information, and you know the information, I know the information, but we just need the tools and techniques in order to open up our consciousness to connect to that source, right? Because it's there for everybody. I'm no different to you, you're no different. No, it's just, and that's a choice, by the way.
And I think it's, yes and no. I think there's choice and there's practice.
But you make the choice. What I'm saying is that you make the conscious decision to say that I want to better myself, and then you have to put in the practice. Sure. 100%.
And
right?
Keep choosing over and over, because I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, like with Pranic Healing, one of the most important virtues is to carry on with your practice, because like I can turn around and I can say, well, I kind of get it, you know, I don't need to meditate tonight. I'm fine. Or I don't need to cleanse tonight. It's okay. That kind of thing. And you can become complacent of that. Remember, because we're in a human body having a human experience. It's really easy to just say, I feel fine. And then another day, but it's continuous practice.
In that Alternative You conference, not only did, when I went, and it's a lot of powerful imagery and knowledge and information, not all of which you agree with, and some of it you go, you already know, and all the rest of it. But to be soaked in that for 3 days, I was still having repercussions on that 6 weeks later, in a negative way. And I'm thinking, and I kind of know how to deal with myself, so I'm like realising that that's what it's all about. But there were so many people there that went, oh, I can't talk about all this stuff to my friends. I love coming to this because it's great. And they're all going to, how many were there? 200, 300?
300.
A lot of people. They're all going to disperse with all their 3 days of negativity and, oh my God, the world's going to explode and everything, there's awful people out there. And they're taking that home to their loved ones, to their children, so the whole, they're like, let's have a little bundle of negativity, and I'll take it and I'll sprinkle it over.
Yeah, and I think
let me just finish. I was going to say the whole place was never predicated on, and this might be a solution. Now we were sitting there. I was going to say, BeCollaboration is a solution. And we managed to get on stage to say that, but we need to kind of go back, because there's a purpose there that we felt we could help people be in that space.
I think there still is an opportunity for that, because I spoke to Ian today.
Yeah.
And we had a chat, and I'm going to see him next week.
But how those kind of people that know that kind of stuff aren't already doing it?
No, but I think no, I don't. I can get why it's like that. I think what happens is,
maybe this isn't.
No,
okay.
Maybe it isn't.
I don't know about the conference, but it doesn't sound like.
Well,
anyway, the point being, this is interesting, because I'm not. The interesting thing is, right, because what you're saying is that people should be aware of what's happening on the planet, right? So the interesting thing is that during my spiritual journey, I was aware of things that were taking place that I'd never even knew existed, right? And that opened my eyes. But I think the difference, like you're saying about this conference, which I don't know anything about, is that people are not held in that space, right? Because it's depowering, it's not empowering. Yeah. So it's like, okay, know about it, but give a solution.
Exactly.
And for me, I am powerful. Obviously, I'm going to be biased, but I am powerful. For me, is the solution. Why? Because it's about oneself. It's about oneself. In that room, in that space, you are connecting to yourself, and you take away tools and techniques to continue that journey. Where you go from that place onwards, it's up to you. You might have a notion of wanting to take it further and research more into, I don't know, pranic healing or whatever. It's a whole,
it's
up to you from that moment.
Any one-day program can only cover 7 hours.
Exactly.
These
But
are
it's
lifetime.
But what it is planting a seed.
Sure, absolutely.
And that actually is a seed of positive hope. Yeah, it's not feeling hopeless. Because when you get to that point, we're on the lower spectrum of the vibration of all the lower emotions of the fear and everything else.
The language of hopelessness doesn't come over, oh, it's hopeless. They're just, in my experience, they wouldn't even distinguish it as hopeless. It'd be like, it wouldn't even be of a concern. Why would I even be looking at that? I've got to get another client. Like when you went out to imagine being around those businesses that are all about the results and making the money and getting the thing and and then they get their things about the weekend, and it's the holiday, then it's buying these shoes, and it's like, well, hold on, that's what my life's about. And look, like, and I think going back to, I'll just be mindful that there isn't judgment here. I'm not judging anybody that just is interested in building a business or that's all engaged in entrepreneurship or that wants to work in the look, we've all got our own
agenda. I get it.
Nothing wrong with those things. What I find is wrong is when people are doing it in such a way that they are spreading negativity
I agree.
to other people. So if money is your god and that's what you're working for, well, if that's your contentment, there's something missing. But you don't spread it to other people. And if those kind of events where it's all shock and horror and will give people a tool or something to use to empower them, obviously, and that's what it's about. So remember those ladies that were going, oh, I want to go, they lived in Hayling Island or somewhere, I want to get an event and I'm not really sure how to do it, and if I could get an event of people and I could tell them about this, it'd be really, but I'm not sure if I can.
Oh, I know.
Goodness, if they had that, and they was like, they wouldn't be able to stop themselves.
I know,
it, would they?
yeah.
But they were confined from their own self-belief.
But I think
so it's getting more and more.
I'm not defending
people.
anything. I'm just saying.
Effect,
but isn't it, there's always something that could stop you, whatever that is. Could be your own cynicism, your own resignation. I haven't got the resources. I don't have the money. I don't know enough. I don't have
but you know what?
I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not. There's always something you have to overcome.
I agree, but
yeah, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, but the point being, going back to the basics, all we can do is concentrate on ourselves.
Yeah.
I can't concentrate on people that sit in a place of constant fear. If you're going to come to an event that I'm holding, great. Why? Because you've already made that conscious decision that you want to move forward, right? But I can't worry. No, but also the other thing, what I was going to say in relation to BeCollaboration as well, that different souls attract different souls, right? So, for example, Tony Robbins will always attract those kind of people. Someone else will always attract those kind of people. And then with BeCollaboration, right, there will be certain people, and look at the people that come as part of BeCollaboration. They're not really the people that are like saying, oh, I'm fearful or I'm not. They're people that are really rolling up their sleeves and saying, right, I'm trying to do something in education, I'm trying to do something with their housing, and great.
Yeah,
amazing.
And that's why they need to know their genius. That's why they need to discover it for themselves, and then they can crack on.
I think that Be Inspired was really like a matrix type of experience. Waking people up to that. They have a choice, they have an option, and they've got this thing called their genius or their flow or their innate wisdom, whatever it is. I just use the word genius. It just seems to feel, and it still feels right. And I think there's an abundance when you're doing something you love and you're engrossed in. You almost like it's like a plane. Once it reaches a certain speed, it can't help but it can't land again. Like we can't land Beacon now. It's too late. I'm not calling it on, but it's like
it's gone.
There's that destinal resolve. It's like I just find myself wanting to create videos, wanting to do talks, wanting to design programs, and invite people to this conversation. And Jill asked me something about I don't know if it's to do with the book or just we're going back to what you asked the question. Why did I choose you? And I don't know if we've said this in a podcast before. I don't think we have. And I said, well, I didn't choose you. And I didn't choose you. You chose the conversation. You turned up in our room. We presented our vision and our ideas, and you went, this is great, I'm going to stay. And you've made the most of it. Someone else could have come, and there is people that turn up at a BeCon meeting and we never see them again. And they tell us how amazing it is.
Yeah.
We should be like...
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I saw people last night were saying, I really love the meeting and you should go to that meeting, it's amazing. I'm like, well, why are you not going to come again? Oh, yeah, I will, I've just been very busy.
I'll be very busy. What busy doing what? Exactly, survival and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
I distinctly remember when I was about 8 or 9, realisation in my head that if I have a bad thought about something, like someone chopping someone's hand off. That made me go, but then I thought, whatever I can think of, someone's done it. And that kind of resonated with me. So it's like, whoa. And it made me feel, you know, this, I can feel it now, this kind of tingling and like, oh no, don't like it. So I don't like somebody being bullied at school. I don't like somebody being mean or making comment about, well, what you're wearing, and or just even if it's deemed funny, I'm like, that's not funny. That's just, it doesn't appeal to me. It's not a sense of humour. And then I kind of started staying away from things that give me that, don't like that feeling. So I've never once paid for a movie that's an 18 because someone dies or someone gets tortured or there's something in there that isn't going to make me feel good. I'm not going to come out feeling happy. So I surround myself with things that make me happy at the end of the day. And there was a YouTube clip, I think it was made originally by Coca-Cola, but forget that for a minute. But it was about, it said things like, what happens when people steal, what happens when people take advantage, and it came out as CCTV cameras filming what you think is someone being robbed and all the rest of it. And as a voyeur, you would want to go onto it, but there was lovely music. I'm like, well, this isn't going to be mean. It's going to, let's have a look.
Oh, right.
And it's stealing a kiss and helping people when their car's broken down. And I just looked at it and I thought, you know what? That's the world I live in. Every time my car's broken down, someone's come to help me. Every time I've had a problem, there's someone, a shoulder to cry on. And I just think that from the age of about 8 or 9, I realised that I do not want to be around horrible, nasty people. And I just think that the more I have friends that think the same as me, and the more people that I can get around me to create something that's going to impact other people, that's why it resonated so much with me when we started that conversation. So it has a knock-on effect that we can stop a world war. It sounds really ridiculous in my living room at this moment saying that we could do that, but it's the only thing that we can do. And that's why I've always resonated so much with what you say, because it makes so much common sense.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, from an 8-year-old, it's like, that's bloody obvious. Why aren't we all doing it?
Yeah.
But
exactly. Be the change you wish to see in the world, right? And you know, when I was putting I Am Powerful together, and like I said, the big piece of paper and brainstorming and writing down this and what was so amazing is that when I had done a full practice run, if you like, to the sofa and the cat, so when I'd done the full practice run, I know, oh yeah, and so I had my papers like this and and then I was like that. I'm not joking. At that moment, I had an aha. Even though I put it all together, and I was like that.
Lovely.
That's really good.
I did. I was like that. That's amazing. And the cat started clapping.
It's like a chance to blow yourself away with your own.
Yeah, but it was kind of like, you know, all of that and putting it all together and then having that, and it was like, of course, you know, be the change you wish to see in the world. And you know what, I've got to say that strap line didn't start the conversation, if you know what I mean, when I was putting it all together. It really didn't, honestly. But it was at the end where I was like, God damn it, I get it.
That's your footnote.
I get it, Gandhi. Clever man. And you know, and that was it.
And that then changes everything about what you do. So it informs the rest of your being, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So even down to you with your fitness now.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Is it a chore? Is it a chore? You don't have to.
No, it doesn't feel it at all now.
No,
and not drinking doesn't feel. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. A couple of times I felt like, okay, but I haven't stopped drinking to not drink. I'm not an alcoholic, so I can drink anytime I want, and I just didn't want to make it a regular day-to-day thing. Not a habit. Yeah. And if there's an occasion, I feel like I will. But at the minute, I'm abstaining. But I want to say, is there anything else you'd like to add before we do a little bit of business and then wrap up? Because we're nearly done.
Just to say,
I think we've been 3 hours.
Have we? Have we? Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Oh,
you've been very good.
I've been very good.
Has he? No, I just want to say it's really lovely to see how BeCollaboration is changing. You know, I feel that it's changing. I feel that there's some different people that have come on board, which is really exciting, and they bring so many new things to the table. You know, I think that's really lovely. And, you know, just just concentrate on what it is that you've got to concentrate on, and don't worry about the rest. Because there's one thing that I've been learning really well very recently: just concentrate on yourself. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry about, oh, but you know, he's the biggest person out there. They're all go-to. Why they want, you know? Don't. Just concentrate on what it is because you're doing something for a real reason since you were 8 years of age, and you know, for me, I also believe there's a lot to do with divine timing, because people, in my opinion, are beginning to understand it more. I use the kind of like the example of yoga. When yoga first came out, people were like, oh my God, it's for tree huggers. You know, I'm not doing that. And I remember asking, even just like 3 years ago, do you meditate? No. You ask people now.
Oh, they're all at it.
Right. Honestly, more now in a group of 10, there'll be a lot of people that do that.
And the conversation we had earlier on today.
Yeah. So what I'm just trying to say is how one thing that is for definite is change. Change is dynamic. Change happens now. So people are changing, you know. There's 7 billion people on this planet, you know.
The time is now.
Exactly. Yeah, everything is in perfect order. Yes. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
It's all good. Okay, well, so any last bits of news? So where's the book at, Jill Tiny?
Oh yeah.
Well, for those of you who've been watching, we've been aiming to print it and launch it in October, but the timeline was just a bit too tight. So it's going to be in November. Watch this space.
Lovely.
We haven't got a date out, but it's very, very imminent. We will be sending it to the printers next week. Probably.
Where can you buy it?
You'll be able to get it on Amazon.
Brilliant.
And hopefully on the website as well when the time comes. Yes. But obviously come to the launch and you can get one there.
Yeah.
Yay.
So that's the book, and obviously next Thursday we've got the Essex meeting.
Can you give a date for that? Because I just thought maybe we could give the date.
First is the Sunday, second, fourth, fifth.
You do
print these out. So all the dates of the meetings are on the website, so you can find them all there. www.BeCollaboration.com.
Linda Burns is going to be doing the no over there. And
is that her first?
Yes.
Fantastic.
So I'm really looking forward to that, Linda.
I just want to say, if I may, if I have a few last words, I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Atma Namaste. That means my soul salutes the divinity within your soul.
Thank you.
And I truly want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything both you've done, the platform you've given me, the opportunities, just this right now. It's amazing. Truly is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Claude.
Thank you.
I love you. So, on that note, thank you very much for watching. We love doing these podcasts, and if you want to subscribe and comment, it'd be great to get some feedback. And if you want to know more about Claudia, it's www.iampowerful.co.uk.
That's it.
If you'd like to meet her in person, she's coming to the Hertford meeting next 13th.
13th. I'm not coming to that one, I'm afraid.
Damn.
I'm in Marbella.
If you want to meet Claudia, it's Marbella.
The next one.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.